we became screenwriters. We were actually daily journalists before, so I feel like all that training of
came in
writing
handy.
came in very handy because we were watching this unfold as we were writing and really, researching it in real time. The congressional hearings were taking place as we were doing the first draft. And
there's no greater joy as a screenwriter and a filmmaker than to be fully immersed in the world of your story and to have that world be so exciting, full of so much righteous anger and energy and passion and love and joy. And we say a little bit that it was like hopping onto a roller coaster mid-ride. So we were spectators for the first few months when the story was unfolding, and then when we came on to write the script, suddenly we found ourselves thrust into the middle car of that roller coaster, just turning around the loops.
Thrown into like the deep end of a pool,
totally,
basically.
Totally.
But it was. I think our first thought was like, wow, there is powerful energy behind this story and real emotion, and it's actually about something much bigger than even just GameStop or the stock market. It's about people who felt small and wanted to make their voices heard. It's about the pandemic. It's about income inequality. It really touched. It really, to us, was a story that explained where we got, how America got to where it is today.
I think there are some true stories that find their way to the screen that end up feeling, like really great entries into the news cycle, a great distillation of what happened. When we were talking about writing this movie, we saw pretty quickly a depth of humanity in this story and also a timeless quality to it. I mean, it really is a classic David and Goliath story that has urgency because it's so rooted in this moment and it says so much about where we are as a society right now. But it's also just a story that anybody can relate to. We can all relate to feeling small, feeling isolated, feeling feeling like an outsider, and then the ultimate fantasy of ending up the reluctant leader of an army that does something big.
No, it was very carefully done in the script. I mean, one of the challenges of this film, right, is that these characters don't know each other in the flesh, in real life, right? They never actually interact. And so the script was this very high wire act and kind of a, kind of complex lattice work or French braid where we had to have, be very careful about the ins and outs of scenes so that the characters are kind of speaking to each other, but not in the same room, but through the way one scene ends and another scene begins.
It's a funny thing because social media is such a powerful force in the world today, but it's not really a terribly cinematic one because what you're looking at ultimately is people typing on their computer. What they're feeling inside it can be so big and so wild, but it's a challenge to render that for the screen. And so we developed all these techniques to overlap scenes, to carry music through, to use imagery and phrases like if he's in, I'm in, to show this army coming together, these people who are feeding off of each other's energy, who are in dialogue with each other, and then in some cases in conflict with each other, even though they've never met, they've never been in the same room, and they may not even know that specifically this other person exists, but it's about the formation of a community and to try to make that as visual and thrilling and fun as we can.
And that's why the film is anthemic. Like, we use music in the script. Megan Thee Stallion was in our first draft of the script, and WAP, because you use songs to bring together, this army. And we felt like we sort of cracked a new language in a way when we realized that we were watching all of Roaring Kitty's videos, doing our research. We realized, at some point, Gabe Plotkin and Steve Cohen and Ken Griffin have had the experience of watching these same videos. And we wanted to recreate this sort of like an old-fashioned Western gunfight or kind of
face-off.
A face-off between our hero and our villain, but we had to do it through a screen. So you see in the opening of the film, Seth Rogen playing Gabe Plotkin looks into the eyes of Roaring Kitty and says, "Who is this schmuck?" And you feel the energy between them. And of course, it's through a screen, but it gives you
almost
the same
like they're
sense.
gunslingers about to fight a duel.